All right. Hi, and welcome to Violet Clover Conversations. Today we're going to tell you about the things we're hooked on.
Things we're
It's
obsessed
a great way to
with.
get to know a person by knowing the things that they like to be obsessed with.
And it doesn't mean not always negative things. I mean, we will talk about some negative things, but also things that just you can't not do. You just gotta do it. Things you just have to keep doing.
Right. Everybody's hooked on something.
Yeah. And for example, which is why I think it's funny that we're saying hooked on, because one of my things is crochet, which is a hook. It's a hook. You hook it. Whoop.
Aimee is the crafty one out of the two of us.
Yeah,
I could not make a thing to save my life.
Yeah, I like crocheting. Like, I would say I'm obsessed with it. I do it literally every day for hours, if not all day, every day. Like right now I'm making a blanket. Oh, wow. It's a blanket. It's not done yet. I have this much yarn to use. And then I have, after that, this much yarn to use. Yes. Anyway.
She gets really excited about yarn or acrylic or whatever, wool. I made the mistake of calling something wool that wasn't wool once. It was a thing.
Yeah, that's because it was not wool. It was acrylic. Okay. I don't really use wool. I don't really like the way it feels on my fingers. Because, when you're crocheting, you have it wrapped on your fingers while you're crocheting. And it slides through there. My favorite would probably be cotton. And acrylic's okay. I like cotton. Polyester's nice too. Because the polyester ones are fuzzy. Like this pillow that I made. It's supposed to be a macaroon.
Yummy. Don't eat it though, right?
No. It's just to be cute and also be squishy. So, yeah, crocheting. I do that. I do that all the time. I'm literally looking at all the yarn that I have sitting on my desk right now because I haven't been able to put it away. It's a mess. There's yarn everywhere. I am actually not allowed to buy more yarn until I've used a lot of the yarn that I have because I have so much of it. Which is really hard because that's another thing I'm obsessed with. It's not just doing the crocheting, but it's also the collecting, Like, I have to have my hoard. My yarn hoard. And it must be massive. But it can't be because it's a lot of money. Yarn is expensive. I mean, to be fair, everything's expensive right now.
Yeah, every hobby is expensive.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay, that's one. We're gonna talk about 3 each. So my first one is crochet, and that one's not a bad one. It's okay. It can be pricey, but as long as I'm being responsible, like it's not necessarily bad. I mean, I do have hand issues, but whatever. That's fine. So, what is one of your obsessions? Something that you're just hooked on that you just can't stop. And while you talk about it, I'm going to crochet.
All right, you do that. For me, it's doing fitness stuff. So before the pandemic, I used to be fairly active in a lot of different things. I spent close to 10 years playing roller derby, and I'd be at the gym a couple nights a week. I did things like over the years, powerlifting, Muay Thai, Aikido, and a few other odds and ends. But then there was this thing called the pandemic that happened, and it shut down all the gyms, and there was some other stuff going on, and then I moved, and then I went like a year or two think 4 years without like being real active, and it sort of caught up to me. And my primary reason for doing it is really for the mental health side of it. It really does do wonders for my mood, but also I like feeling strong.
Yeah.
So my dad passed away earlier the year, and some other things happened in my life which really upset me. And to get myself out of that funk, I decided to jump right back into like fitness. And to do that, on the same day, I joined a CrossFit gym and a roller derby team, and I kind of went hard at it. And within 6 weeks, my mood was total 180. I was feeling great. I also probably hit it too hard too quick, and my knee was not feeling so great. So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
love the fitness, hate the injuries. It's part of the thing. And like we said, everything has a cost, both the dollar amount and the physical side of things, but I definitely wouldn't give it up. But I just need to be a little more responsible with acknowledging that I sometimes get hurt and need to like slow down or take time off, because I don't want to do that, because if I don't work out, then I don't get my boost,
Your dopamine.
for my mental health. So that's like, yeah.
Need that dopamine.
And I have to do things that are hard and that require me to focus on it. It's like a forced mindfulness activity.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay attention when you're playing roller derby, or somebody's going to knock you over, or you have to pay attention when you're lifting a heavy weight because you could get hurt. So the whole idea of mindfulness is just being in the moment. But if I like go for a walk, because I do that every day, because I have a dog over there asleep, but my mind strays. It's still got great benefits, but if you need to like focus on something,
Yeah.
for me it's doing something hard.
Which is funny because like that's
So that's
the opposite reason why I crochet, is because I need to not like be focused on something, because my like mentally, you know, like physically I need to be doing stuff because I have to fidget. I have to like be moving. And I like crocheting because when I'm fidgeting and stuff, I'm being productive because like I'm making something. But like I need that, like when I crochet, my brain kind of just like slows down, you know, and I'm just kind of like not really thinking so much. That's why I like doing it like when I'm listening to something or talking to somebody, because my brain's not going a million miles an hour all over the place, because it's like grounding. It's like grounding, you know? But
what I appreciate about crocheting is that you're doing something, you have something to show for it when you're done, right? Like, I'm a fidgeter too. I can't watch a show without doing something. Though for me, it's usually like playing a game on my phone, or
yeah,
like it's on my second screen and I'm playing video games or something. Because I just can't sit there and watch or listen to something. I have to do something. But as fun as those things are, I have nothing to show for hours spent playing a game on my phone. Whereas Aimee would have some random physical things she can show.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that.
Like granny squares. Or a blanket. But I mean, you could also do the same thing where you could do like exercises while you're doing that stuff, you know? Like you could do like squats, or get a walking pad and walk, or treadmill, or lift weights while you're doing that. And exercise definitely there's something to show for it, you know? Like you can definitely tell
true,
like
yeah.
if you've like gained some muscle and you're like, look how ripped my arm is, you know? Yeah, like losing weight, you know, like, and just being able to like do stuff like the way you feel. Like, I know that I am terrible when it comes to exercise, and my endurance is pretty shit. It's pretty bad. Like, I get tired a lot, and I know that if I worked out, it would definitely help, but I can't go work out because I'm crocheting. Like, I did buy a walking pad that I've used once, and I need to be using it again, because that's like one of my problems, you know, which is we're supposed to be talking about obsessions, but just real quick, since your obsession is exercise, that's one of the things that I actually need to be working on. I wish I could become obsessed with it, because I just don't like doing it, you know? Like, that's why I got a walking pad, and I'm hoping that if I can, like, have some way to, like, crochet small things while I'm walking. That's the idea. Like, I make a lot of, like, scrunchies. Like, hold on, let me just, we can keep this in a video. I'm just gonna be over here real quick.
All right.
I'm still here. I'm not gone. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm still here.
She's getting lost under a mountain of yarn, I'm sure.
This. Scrunchies. I don't know if, like, my quality is bad, but yeah, I've got a bajillion scrunchies that I've been working on. And these things, I can totally walk. I can totally walk and make a scrunchie. That's easy. Why does it look like...
I totally need some scrunchies for my hair.
Well, I've got a bunch of them. Where's my... Like, this fabric is so
too bad
soft.
You're, like, several hours the other way.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a nice color. I like that color.
Yeah, it's so soft. Like, also, I like this one. Look how bright that is. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So good. And they're so soft. It's chenille yarn. So fuzzy. Yeah, I could make these while I'm walking on a treadmill. They're called, like, walking pads, because I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. There's no bar to hold on to. It's just a thing that you walk on, which I was also very nervous the entire time walking on it. Like, I was just gonna, like, walk off. Because there's nothing to hold on to, you know? Like, it's just a walking pad. So...
But you walk every day and don't hold on to things, so logically.
Yeah, but I'm also moving forward. You know, like, there's that reference point of movement, and when you're not going anywhere but walking, it's disorienting. Especially if you're trying to crochet and walk, not moving anywhere, and watch TV. I was just like, ooh. I mean, I do get motion sick, so that probably had something to do with it.
Fair enough.
So yeah, like, yeah, we got, you know. Do you have any, like, ridiculous stories attached to your obsession? Has it ever caused something that might have been a little funny? No?
Well, I mean, I do and did play roller derby, so I probably have lots of stories. But you know how, like, somebody says, tell you a story, and my brain just blanked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me knocking people over, or getting knocked over. There's this fella, he goes to all the games in the region, and he's like a professional photographer, and then he posts all the pictures on Facebook. This is the only time I ever go on Facebook is to look at these pictures. And everybody goes on there to check out, they're like, oh man, look at me, there's some pictures of me being badass, doing roller derby stuff, and then all the expressions of me are like...
You're like, I'm very serious.
I'm like, I swear I'm having fun, but I look like this.
I mean, that looks like the face of fun. That looks
fun.
Like the face of competition, man. That's a serious face.
Yeah, well, if you were a jammer coming at me and you saw me do this, you'd probably go the other way, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna go where she is. I'm gonna go the other way.
I mean, first off, me on roller skates.
But then he's also got these series of photos where it's of me, shot by shot, falling to the ground.
That's awesome. Maybe you should show them.
More recent, yeah, I'll try to get some and show some of these photos. The more recent ones have me falling a lot more, but the ones from when I used to play, back in my day, when I was, like...
It's still your day.
Performer,
What are you talking about?
There'll be ones where I'm knocking people over. The ones these days are me, like, trying to knock people over and they get away.
Oh.
But to be fair, I've only been back on skates about 3 months.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm happy with what I'm doing. Next year, though. Next year.
Yeah, especially when you're super ripped and you can just be like, boom. Or I guess maybe you'd shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch roller derby or ever played it.
It's more of a hip check or a body check.
Just fly right into them.
Anymore, it's a thing.
Just go like.
Yeah, you
bullet.
just like. Yeah.
That could be really fun, but I think I might be a little small. Like I'm.
No, there's all kinds of people, all kinds of positions. That's the beautiful thing about roller derby. Everybody can fit in however they are, and there's different skill sets and different body types, and there's different things that you can do with whoever you are and however you are. So that's one of the things I really like about it, because like I'm a blocker, so I'm like stop the other team's jammer, hit other blockers, hit jammers. But some really tiny people make great jammers because they're really small and hard to hit and really agile.
Okay. Yeah, because like I'm only 5 foot. I'm a tiny person. So like coming up to you, I'd be like,
yeah, I'm 5'7" and broad, so
I would just imagine like trying to skate towards you and just being like, Kim, please don't hurt me. Let me just go right by. I'm just gonna go over here. Like, I also haven't gotten on like roller skates since I was a child, when they used to have like the roller rinks, you know? Like it was a Roller King where I grew up. Now I'd go there, you know, as a kid and just dupe around in a circle, you know, like, oh look, I'm going so fast. Wasn't going fast. It's like, I like the music. But I haven't been on skates since then, so it would probably be really amusing to see me like get on some skates and try to go forward. I don't even know if my body knows how to do that anymore.
Well, I mean, when somebody joins a team, there's a Learn to Skate or Fresh Beat program that brings everybody up to the same level before they're allowed to do contact anyway. So
that makes sense.
And then for people who don't want to do contact, there's always refereeing. So check out and support your local roller derby team today. By the way, you get cool names. My derby name is Knockout.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I lost my hook. Okay, so...
And it's social, and it's fun, and it's, yeah. I just fell in love with the sport 14 years ago. Yeah, so I was, like, super young when I got into it.
Super. You were a child,
when I got
right?
into it, it was brand new in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, like, I got in it in the first... It'd only been in my region for, like, a year when I got into it. And,
okay.
Yeah, then it was a thing for a few years, and then the pandemic hit, and the local teams fizzled out a little bit. But there's a resurgence now, so that's nice.
Yeah, we need to...
I'm pretty excited for it. The team I'm on is brand new.
We need to make exercise cool again. Being active, physically active, so cool.
And the other thing... Well, like, the thing is, when I was growing up, I did a lot of solo stuff. I never joined a team sport. I didn't like doing anything like that. And then when I was probably around 28, a coworker at a place I worked at was talking me into trying jiu-jitsu. And after several months of him trying, I said, sure, I'll go try jiu-jitsu. I called up the place to say, hey, I want to try a free class. And then I immediately went downstairs at the factory I was working at, fell down, and broke my elbow. So I didn't actually get to try it.
That's hilarious. I mean, that sucks.
Immediately. Like, I literally hung up the phone, walked downstairs, slipped on the floor, and fractured my elbow. It was awesome.
Also,
no, it
ouch.
wasn't awesome. I had to drive myself to the emergency department and everything. Finished my checks.
Oh my god.
Yes, it hurts. There's like, I fell backwards like this, and compression fractured in my elbow. So eventually I went and I tried jujitsu. And it was fun, but it really wasn't my thing. But they also offer kickboxing, and kickboxing was fun, so I got into that. And yeah, then from there I tried out for roller derby, and I got into that. And I did head coach and captain for a few years, and then work got busy, and I stepped back from it a bit. And anyway, then like I said, the pandemic hit. But I also, the other thing I tried recently was CrossFit. I had tried that a few years ago too, and I didn't really love the gym that I was doing it at, but I liked the idea of it. But now that I moved here, I like this gym a lot better. It's a better fit for me personality wise. And it's basically, it's like gamifying fitness. It's like a whole, like, there's a workout of the day, and everybody like is right, supportive and cheerful, and then you write your time on the board, and you know, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, I modify everything because I have all kinds of injuries, but it's a lot of fun. And not only has my mood improved, my cardio has improved, my waistline has improved, which gets expensive on the wardrobe. But I mean, those are the added side effects.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
benefits.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to your other point though, I have a whole bench downstairs, and it just holds my roller derby gear between practices. Like, I just can't motivate myself to work out at home.
Yeah.
That's why I gotta go to these things, so I have somebody yelling at me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like,
or encouraging me. They don't always yell.
I don't like going to gyms. I don't like it. I don't like leaving the house though, so that's.
But like, if you go to a gym, that's the whole other side of it too. Like, going to a gym, you're not really supposed to talk to other people at the gym, but if you go to a fitness class or a sport, those people they want you to talk to them. They're usually excited about the thing that their activity, and they want you to like it.
Yeah.
So they're generally very encouraging and friendly. But you go to a gym, people there are nice enough, but they generally don't want to be spoken to. So, as I tried that before because I used to do that too, but I tried that before I got back into the CrossFit and roller derby this year, and it's like, well, this is not helping my social need at all, so I'm going to try some things.
Yeah. I don't like being social. I don't like talking to people. As I'm sitting here talking to you. It's
fair enough.
It's different, okay?
Well, the thing is, you're spending time with people, you're not necessarily talking to them the whole time, so you're being social without actually having to talk. Like,
yeah.
Look, we're all doing a thing together, and if you are talking, you're talking about the thing you're doing.
Yeah.
So.
I just don't like leaving the house.
So a nice, easy ease into the social. Well, yeah, well, that's your other thing. So you might really love the whole working out from home thing.
Yeah. I don't. I've got other things.
But there's, like, videos and stuff you can watch if you want to do, like, sports at home, right?
Yeah, like...
And you can do it along with your video.
I definitely want to... I've been trying to get into yoga for, like, 10 years. I just... Because I know that, like, yoga would help with my joint issues. Because I need to be... I need to strengthen the muscles around my joints. And I know that yoga would be able to do that without too much, like... pressure, you know, but I just have a hard time like doing anything because, you know, having the whole ADHD thing, like I get super interested in things and then a month later I find something else that I'm super interested in, and it has to become like more. It has to be like become vital, you know? And that's why I can crochet all the time,
right,
even
well,
though...
Maybe what we can do... we could do an exchange of a bit. Like, maybe you can teach me how to crochet a thing, and I can, like, get you to do yoga videos with me. We said we challenge each other to stuff.
Yeah. I just feel like the challenge...
I don't love that idea.
The challenge for you being me teach you crochet is also a challenge for me, though. I don't really think like it's fair. I suck at teaching people anything.
Fair enough.
I'm like, I don't know. You just do it, okay? You just do this thing. Just see what I'm doing. Just do this. Just do this, all right? Just do that. See this? Just do that. Like, that's my teaching.
I'll just do that.
Just do that. No, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not good at, like, breaking things down and being patient. So, whenever anybody's always like, hey, can you teach me? I'm like, I don't know. I can't teach.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not.
It's not a skill.
I'm not a teacher, man. Like, it.
Yeah, that's a whole other skill set that not everybody has. You gotta learn how to do that too.
Like,
if you ever wanted to do that.
Josh
it's
is
not necessarily neat.
Josh is really good at teaching people stuff. Like, whenever we play a new game or whatever, I always wait until he's read everything and he completely understands how the game works and all the abilities, etc. And then I go, okay, so how do I play this game? And he always makes fun of me because he's like, you never, like, you're always saying you don't know how to do things, but you just skip the tutorials. And it's like, well, yeah, because the tutorials are boring. I don't want to do this, okay?
Well, that's why they're there, though.
I don't do tutorials in games. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's annoying. Like, it's, like, I'm too impatient. Like, and they always feel like they take so long. And they're like, oh, have you ever used a keyboard before? Look, W goes forward. And it's like, come on, I know this, okay? I know how to use a keyboard. I know how to use a mouse. Okay, I know how to press buttons.
Yeah, but that's literally just the first thing. After that, they get into the whole this for that. Like, the WASD thing is, like, really takes
That's
you
as
5
far
seconds.
as I can
Press
get.
W to move forward. Okay, alright, next thing.
I just like skipping tutorials and figuring it out myself. You know?
Fair enough. A lot of games usually, use the similar buttons for things, like J is journal and I is inventory, M is map,
I hate when they don't. You know what I mean?
I know, that's true.
Like,
yeah.
what? Why would you
or like
ever...
spacebar is not jump.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I is not inventory? What the hell? It's like, no, actually, tab is inventory, and it's like... I think I can deal with this, but I don't really like it. I should be inventory.
Yeah, my brain doesn't want to learn this.
Yeah.
Why can't you standardize like everybody else? Why do you have to be different?
Yeah, stop being different. Conform. I don't want to learn new things. I'm old now. I don't learn. I just exist in life. Okay, so, okay. So we've talked crocheting, which, I don't know, should we just put them all out there and then talk about them? I don't know. What do we just continue on?
Well, we have one we both have an issue with.
That's right. That's true.
And that's sugar.
Yeah.
This is not an ad. These are just my favorite chocolate.
This is not an ad. I don't have...
No, if Cadbury wants to sponsor me, I'm right here.
I do have some sugar. Right up here. Some Japanese candies.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is ramune candy. The drink. Sorry, it's a drink. It's a Japanese drink. Like soft drink. But these are candy versions of the drink. I don't know what these are.
Alright.
I don't know.
Well, I like chocolate and I like sour candy. Those are my two big sugar weaknesses.
Oh, yeah. Like, if we're talking, like, sugar weakness, for me, it's pastries. Like, donuts. Oh, my God.
Yeah, pastries are pretty damn good.
Like, Danishes.
Mm-hmm.
Cake. Like, those are my favorite things. Donuts, Danishes, and cake. Like, it's... If you're like, hey, I have a cake. You want some cake? I'm going to be like, yes, I'll have the cake. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this cake. I will take the cake. No, like, the whole cake. Give me the cake. It's just... I love frosting.
Yeah.
And I love fluffy, sweet breading. I don't know, cake. Like donuts, like my favorite donuts, probably the crullers, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? The
Yeah.
crullers
Yeah.
or whatever. Those, because it's when they're fresh. They have to be fresh, because when they're not fresh, they have the textures all weird. But when they're fresh and they're like puffy, and they just kind of melt in your mouth, so good, so good. Or like Krispy Kreme glazed donuts, fresh. Oh, so tasty. Because they melt. They melt when they're fresh. They just melt in your mouth. Because, like, for me, texture is huge. Like, it's really, like, there are things that I cannot eat because of texture. And, like, so there's, like, you know, texture can make it so that I cannot eat something, but it also can make it so I'm obsessed with it. Like, sometimes, because I have that, what's it called? With the mouth. Oral fixation. I have issues with oral fixations.
Okay.
So, like, when things have a nice texture, and it's sweet, I have a problem because I want to eat until I explode. Because it's like, you know, when it feels good to chew and then it's tasty, you just want to keep chewing it and you want to keep tasting it. So you just keep eating it. Yeah, it's a problem. And like, I grew up being hypoglycemic, so for those of you people watching, if you don't know what hypoglycemia is, basically my body does not process sugar properly, and it makes my blood sugar really low. So, and it doesn't regulate it. So when I eat sugar, my blood sugar will be like, woo, all the way up there, and then it'll drop. And there's been times where I have almost passed out because of it, because of low blood sugar. So sugar has always been something that I've had to be careful with, but I also, because my blood sugar is low, I crave it all the time. So I always have to have, like, I'll have my sugar, but then I need to have my protein, you know, to balance it out. And then a lot of water, because that'll help flush out the sugar. But, like, and I can't do, I don't know about you, Kim, but the sugar-free stuff, no. Like, I'm talking about, like, desserts and treats and stuff. Like, I'll drink, like, sugar-free, like, energy drinks and stuff. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
but it's my treats, okay? My cakes and my donuts, you know, I can't, no sugar, it tastes like poo. It tastes like poo. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can do the sugar-free pop, but I can't do sugar-free snacks, because if I'm going to eat the snack, it's my snack, it's my treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. I just think it's funny, like,
come on.
The way we feel about it is so funny, because, like, you can't, drinks, whatever, fake sugar, I don't give a shit, right? But my snacks, no.
Right.
It's not the same.
Because it affects the texture and everything else,
And
right?
the aftertaste.
Yeah.
Ooh. And it doesn't, it's off. It's just not right. And then it's like, why am I eating this? This is disgusting. Where's my sugar? I need the sugar. Like, I'll go, like, I'm sure we've talked about it before, about, like, trying to cut it out. It's so hard. Like, I can do it, but the problem for me is I have 4 other people in the house that don't want to cut sugar out. So, you know, so when I'm trying to not eat sugar, there's still sugar in the house. So I'm just like, can you guys get, like, ice cream? just like get a lot of ice cream, because ice cream, I'm not really big into ice cream. Like I'll eat it, and like sometimes when we go to Dairy Queen, they have like this brownie chocolate extreme blizzard or whatever. Have you had that one?
Mm-hmm.
It's so
That's a good one. The chocolate brownie extreme. Yeah.
The ice cream is so like chocolatey. It's so good. Like, yeah, the brownie bits are tasty, but whatever powder that they put in the ice cream, I have made myself almost sick eating that. Because I couldn't stop eating the chocolate ice cream.
If Dairy Queen wants to sponsor us,
I love Dairy Queen.
yeah, there's a Dairy Queen on my way home from work, and yeah, it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to your like trying to quit sugar thing, there's twice in my life where I've quit sugar for two different reasons. One was when I was in the powerlifting thing, and I had my one and only powerlifting competition coming up, and I wanted to be in a certain weight class, so I did keto, which is like eat less than 20 grams of sugar a day.
Yeah.
And so I did keto leading up to the weigh-in, and I would dream about
Yeah.
I would dream about eating cake and chocolate and all this stuff, and I was like home making like melting like dark chocolate with peanut butter to like
You're like, please
make something I could eat. But yeah, and then trying to go to the grocery store, finding things that I could actually eat, like it was really, really hard. So people who do keto, kudos to you, but like right after the weigh-in, I went out and I went to Dairy Queen. And I got a salted caramel blizzard, and that was it. I was back into the sugar.
It's
the other point in my life. Yeah. So I grew up in a family where every meal ends with dessert.
okay.
And so it's probably not a shock to you, but there's some diabetes in the family.
Yeah.
So I had a family member who had a medical emergency related to diabetes, and after spending 5 days in the ICU with him, I probably on like day 2 or 3, I went home and threw out every cookie I had and every bit of sugar, and I quit sugar, and I lasted almost a year that time going without sugar, because at that point I just so turned off of the idea of it.
Yeah.
And I lost like 40 pounds in like 6 months. It was really not a healthy way to do that. But yeah, and then at some point I started to like sneak a little bit, like, oh, somebody ate cake at work. Oh, I might as well have the cake, and then
you're back.
Well, sugar is an addiction,
Yeah.
right? So that's it, done. There's just either all or none.
Yeah.
And then back. So like, fortunately, I do the fitness thing, but you can't outrun your fork, they say.
It's
so
true.
I'm never going to be like super skinny, but I'm okay with that.
That's why I do the.
But I'll be strong.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I do the intermittent fasting, because it's easy to do with ADHD. Like, I forget to eat all the time. But, and I only do it to the point where, like, if my stomach's growling, like, a lot and I'm starting to feel sick, I'm like, I need to eat. Like, and I'll eat then. Like, I'm not trying to starve myself, I'm just trying to limit the calories. And I can't remember how long, but after like a certain amount of hours, you start to burn the fat that you've been storing. And like, I've had 3 kids, so I've got some fat that I'm storing, It doesn't go away. Someday, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to do the walking thing.
I mean, I'm totally fine having curves. I love that I have some curves. I'm never not going to have curves. I just also want some other, be
less curvy,
healthy still, with like the cholesterol and the blood sugar and all those factors. So
yeah,
But yeah, sugar's hard. Sugar's a hard one to control.
One of the big things is, okay, well, obviously my stomach. I don't like how round it is.
You're like, my belly looks like this, and like, I'm pretty sure exaggerating. Or you're in like this curled over position.
Yeah, when I'm like this, my stomach's like. But another thing is the breast area. I would like to make smaller. I would like them to be smaller. Cause like, and that's hard because when I got out of basic training, I weighed that was the smallest fat percent that I have ever had in my life. And I was down to 102 pounds, which was underweight for me. In basic training, they would, because it used to be like, the way they do it, you know, when you're eating, they're just screaming at you the entire time, and they give you like minutes to eat, and then you got to get out of there, right? Well, for the smaller of us ladies, they would walk past our table and scream at the people after us. So anyway, my point, that's a tangent, but I just always found it amusing because I still couldn't eat. It takes me so long to eat, and I can't. And they make you drink like 3 8-ounce cups every meal, and I'm just like, I can't do that in 5 minutes, okay? That I can't. Or maybe it's 6 ounces. It might be 3 6-ounces. I'm not sure. I don't know. The cups are like this big, okay? They're like this. Anyway, that was the smallest I ever been, at 102, and I still was a full C cup. And that's being underweight. It's just like, why? Like the way that they say to, like, I always watch those videos like of like women that work out, and they're like, look how strong I am, but I have no boobs. It's so sad. And I'm like, I wish I had your problem. And I'm sure they wish they had my problem. But, you know, like, I wish I was like,
yeah, everybody's like,
yeah, I wish I was like an A or a B maybe. Like, I wish I had like barely any boob. That would be so cool. Which I feel like I might be offending people by saying that. By saying I wish I was an A with barely any boob.
Well, everybody has their boob preferences. It's fine.
No, I mean, but like the women that are A's, they're like,
I'm quite happy with my bosoms. I'm fine.
See, I hated them since I was.
So they do tend to like hunch my back.
Yeah, like I'm hunched over. Like I should be. This is me sitting up straight.
So from sugar to boobs.
Tangents, you know, they happen to the best of us. Does that mean that the best of us always gets on tangents? And that if you don't go on a tangent, you're not the best of us? That's what we're just going to assume that, okay?
Yeah. Tangents. They're where it's at. Right. So, what are you doing there? Is that your other thing you're hooked on?
Yes. It is. It's nicotine. Woo! I am addicted to nicotine. Yeah, nicotine, it's, I started smoking when I was 18, and I had just joined the military, and I was in tech school. I had never smoked before then, and then someone was smoking, and I'm like, sure, I'll give it a shot, let me see, and then it was all downhill from there. And that's the thing is, like, in the military, there is a lot of people that smoke. Like, a lot of people. And it's hard to quit because whenever you take a smoke break, it's just like the entire office goes out there and you're just chilling out there smoking, just being like, oh, yeah, you've been out there for like 45 minutes, you know, to an hour. But it's okay because your major's out there with you smoking. It was like a very social thing. And I got up to like a pack a day, almost a pack and a half a day. And my diet in the military was Red Bull and menthol cigarettes. Like, it had to be menthol. It just wasn't, like, I tried the like other types of cigarettes and it's just like not the same. I like that feeling of fiberglass in your throat, you know? It feels good.
That sounds lovely.
Like, it's like if you're gonna do it, might as well go hard, right? But I quit when
kids, if you're watching, don't do it.
don't
Fiberglass in the throat.
don't even try it. Like, it's not worth it. It really is not worth it at all. Like, I quit the first time when I was pregnant with my first child, but as soon as he was popped out of there, I'm like, I need a cigarette. Please give me a cigarette. I need one. Because, like, the problem I have, the reason it's such a hard thing to quit is because I have, anxiety, PTSD, and so it's really hard. I quit with my first child, I quit with my second child, I quit with my third child, and I went back after my first. I went back to cigarettes after my second, but between the second and third child, I went to this thing, and I tried quitting this, and I ended up buying a pack of cigarettes when I tried quitting this. And I had one cigarette from that, and I thought it was disgusting. It was so gross.
The fiberglass wasn't doing it for you anymore?
No, like, it was, and it stunk, and it was just nasty. And, I mean, the buzz was great, The nicotine buzz was like, woo, like your eyes rolling and everything, but it was just gross. So I just ended up getting more of this stuff, and I've been doing this ever since. So, like, basically, I've been addicted to nicotine for almost 20 years. 19 years now.
Yeah, it's a real hard one to quit, right? Like, it's
like, you have to,
if you wanted to. Like, I've known
yeah, you have to be like,
you have to really want it, and there is a real physical withdrawal component.
Yeah, and I don't have the willpower for that right now. Like, I want this. This helps me with a lot of things, because a lot of it is anxiety, because it's also the oral fixation. All right, we already talked about that. I have issues, like,
fair enough. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, I mean, I know like that my reasons are not enough to, like, keep going. Like, I know that there are alternatives that would work just fine. It's just I don't want to. Like, my husband keeps bringing up that, like, fume thing, which is just, like, a fancy device to breathe in flavored air. And I'm just like, it's like, I feel like it's pretty pricey, and it has no nicotine in it. Like, maybe, yeah, I would be, like, hitting it, and I would be like, it tastes like apples or whatever. Like, sure, that'd be nice for, like, the oral fixation part of it, but, like, there's definitely, like, with ADHD, I have issues with dopamine. So nicotine helps give that dopamine. So it's just like, whatever. I don't want to be on, like, medication.
I can see you trying this. I just picture you trying this flavored air thing, going, this isn't hitting my vaping fix, and now I'm just hungry, and this isn't fitting my sugar fix.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
So now I'm going to go vape and eat a pastry.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too, right? Is, like, whenever you try to make a huge change in your life that's, like, a habit, you're trying to change a habit or get rid of a habit, it just feels like torture. It feels like torture. And now I totally understand why babies get so mad when you try to take their binky from them, because it's like, that was my entire life. Like, that's what it feels like. It's like, this is the thing that keeps me sane. Why are you taking it from me? It's better than cigarettes. Like, I'm not smoking cigarettes anymore. There's no tar in my lungs anymore, right? So I'm good. And I've never had breathing problems. I can still take deep breaths. I'm good. Like, my lungs feel good. I'm sane-ish. I'm gonna hit this again.
Ish.
Like,
that's okay. I'm only ish too. It's fine.
I think most people are ish, you know? There's a lot of people out there that are like, I'm so sane. Like, I'm the most normal person ever. And it's like, I don't think that's true. I'm sure I could find something.
Well, normal's boring. Who wants to be
It's
boring?
like, your issue is that you're boring. That's your problem.
Yeah.
You're like, I am so normal.
Or you think you're boring. Or you think you're normal, sorry.
Yeah, it's like, I'm so normal. It's like,
normal is over.
Who are you again? Where'd my crochet hook go? I've lost my hook. Okay, so...
Anyway, no judgment, because I know it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
And it's up to you what you want to put your own body, right?
Yeah, don't touch my body.
Fair enough. My third thing I'm ridiculously hooked on is screens, particularly my smartphone.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is not an ad. Please sponsor us. But yeah, it's the last thing I look at night before I go to sleep. It's the first thing I look at when I wake up. I have a really hard time putting it down and walking away. If I do, I will spend more time going back and getting it if I leave the room than I could have gone just to go do the thing and come back. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm just like this. And if it wasn't my phone, it'd be a computer screen or a tablet or I'm hooked on screens.
Dopamine.
I wish it wasn't. I am. It's totally destroyed my attention span. And I think part of it comes from fidgeting. Part of it I just need to have the stimulus. When I was a kid, I would have brought word puzzle books or actual book to read. So I've always needed to carry a distraction tool with me, but it's gotten a lot worse with the smartphone. At one point I did have a job where I had to have my phone on me 24/7, but I don't have that job anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't need to carry it. And then I'm like, but what if something happens? And I know it's not healthy. Or it might even be something like, I tried the other day and I left the phone on the dining room table when I went out in the backyard. But then there were these 2 baby deer. And I'm like, well, now I don't have my phone to take a picture of that I'm never going to look at again anyway.
You never know.
And then I went in to grab my phone, and then the baby deer are gone. They still have their spots and everything. I'm like, well, see, I should have my phone on me. I would have taken this picture that I would have never looked at again.
And that's the thing, too, right? Is when you're addicted to something, you always find justification for, why you should keep doing it, you know? It's... I'm going to be better about it, but then it's, the one time. It's so easy to find reasons, whereas normally you probably wouldn't even have thought about it, but because your brain's already thinking about it all the time, everything is associated with it now. For example, watching TV. Anytime I see someone smoke a cigarette on TV, I'm like... I can't... and when I used to smoke cigarettes, it would be, pause the show, go out onto my balcony, smoke a cig. You know, because, it's just... Once you see the thing, you need the thing, you know? Same with sugar, same with the phone, you know? Exactly, the phone... I don't have an issue as much with the phone. I actually forget about my phone a lot, which has its own issues, when people are trying to talk to me, and then I... don't know it.
But see, I recognize that. So you and somebody else, some other friends of mine, I know that they don't carry their phone with them. So if I message them, it's okay, because I know you don't have your phone on you, and it's going to take you a while to respond. Yeah. That's because it's a me issue that I always have my phone on me, unless it's charging, because I had my phone on me all day. At which point I'm probably sitting in front of the computer because I needed to substitute the screen somehow. But I know, especially with you, that I'm going to message you and you may not respond for a few hours. And I do not hold that against you at all, because that's the healthy behavior.
I don't know.
Right? But I know other people who will be before I had this problem, if I didn't text them back right away, they'd be like, why didn't you text me back right away? But, yeah.
Yeah.
So... I think it's healthy. Just because you can be connected 24/7 doesn't mean you should be connected 24/7. Because it's just not that great for you.
Yeah.
But, they do all these cool things. There's so much stuff you can do with your phone now. I remember growing up and they'd be like, you have to learn how to do math by hand because you won't always have a calculator in your pocket.
Actually, I know, I heard that all the time. You need to know what you're doing. It's not like you're going to have a calculator with you. Oh, man, that, yeah. And it's now I wish I could go back to that math teacher and be like, what? Actually, I do. Except for sometimes I forget where it is.
Right?
And it's so convenient. I actually use my calculator all the time.
Except that with women's clothing.
No, yeah.
Women's clothing, you cannot fit them into your pockets most of the time.
No.
But I have it on.
Even, like, when they were smaller, like, you still couldn't even
range.
fit them in your pocket. You know, like, when we had the flip phones, it still couldn't. Back then, they even made them smaller.
Yeah, as women's pockets are so small and tight, and you'd have this giant bulge and it'd be half hanging out. And
I have lost phones that way.
It's a conspiracy by the purse manufacturers.
That's a good point. That's why, like, whenever you see, like...
I don't have many conspiracy theories, but that's one of them.
Like, whenever I see, like, videos and stuff about, you know, from women that make clothes and everything, that's one thing they always talk about. Like, oh, I made this dress. Oh, my God, it's got pockets. I could fit my entire hand in my pocket. That's the most amazing thing. And it's like, yeah. It's sad that we are at this point where it's like, pockets are so cool. Like...
Yeah, dresses or skirts with pockets, you're supposed to say it if somebody compliments you on it. It's got pockets! It's just... And every woman understands why that's a big deal.
I have one big flannel.
I'm sure the fellas are like, okay.
Yeah, you don't get it. Don't even shush. You don't understand, all right? I mean, I guess it depends on, like, what kind of woman you are, too, because there's a lot of women that carry, like, their entire house in their purse, you know, and they obviously don't care if they have pockets. Because they're like, I have my giant bag full of my house. I have to have, like, you've seen those videos, I'm sure, like on shorts where it's like, look at, and they just do all the, like, perfectly. I've got this bag, and it's a very, like, a $500 bag, and it's got special pockets, and then you can buy special inserts that I fill all this stuff in, and I put it in here. Look how organized. It's like, you seem neurotic. Actually, I think you're crazy. Anyway, yeah, so it's funny, speaking of addictions, it's actually, like, crocheting has actually been causing me issues with my wrist and my shoulder. I have arthritis forming in my hand, in here, but I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't make me. Mm-mm. Like, when I try to take breaks, because, you know, everyone... the rule is always moderation for pretty much everything. I mean, there's some things like you don't moderate, you just don't do it all. Like, you don't moderate murder, you just don't do it, okay? There's obviously some things you just don't do. But for most things, it's about moderation, and you should, you know, when you're doing physical things, Kim, you should always make sure to take breaks, because otherwise you can hurt yourself. And it's really difficult when you're obsessed with things because you try to take a break and then you're like, just one more. Just one more row. Just one more set, you know? Just one more. Like, just, you know, let's just keep going. Or you put it away for a second and it's like, what do I do now? Like, I think that's the biggest hurdle when it comes to things that you're, like, obsessed with is how to exist without it, you know? No. And maybe someday we can sit down and talk about all the things that irritate us. Or maybe we could do a video where I talk about all the things that irritate me and you just listen because you don't get mad.
That's true.
It's like, hey, Kim,
there's not a lot that irritates
give me a list of things that irritate you, and you just be like, I don't like the heat. I feel like you'd be like, I don't like being hot.
That's accurate.
And then I'd go off in an hour rant about how the heat sucks.
Yeah, but I'm like, most discomfort is temporary, so I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, there's things that don't bother me, you know? But then there's things that literally 1 second of I can't tolerate. Like, being jostled, okay? Like, I don't like when my body is moving without me doing it or accepting this. You know, like, for example, when I would be at my computer chair and someone come by and just like put their arm like on the chair, like, hey, how you doing? And I'm just like, don't touch my chair. You're moving my body and I don't like it. Or like in the bed, my husband has to shake his leg all the time. And it's like, the bed's like, and I'm just like, stop moving. I can't tolerate it.
See, you would not do well with roller derby.
Well, it's
kind of the whole
no,
thing.
because see, that's it's about context, right? Like if I'm going into a situation where the point is to be jostled around, you know, like, or that's something that you're like, I have consented, you know. But if I'm just hanging out, sitting in a chair where I'm like, I just want to sit here, and then someone's like shaking it, no, I did not consent to being shook in my chair. All right.
All right. So bringing it back around to the things that we're hooked on. Mine was fitness, sugar, and screens or smartphones. And Amy's was
crochet, sugar, nicotine. I almost forgot the third one. I'm like, there was something else. It's...
So, viewers, now that you've watched, please write in the comments what are some of the things that you're hooked on. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, because, you know, like, maybe it's something that I am also addicted to. Because we only chose 3. Okay? But there might be more.
There's more.
There's more. There's more things, you know. But we chose the top 3. So, yeah, let us know in the comments, like, what things you're obsessed with. And maybe we'll talk about it, you know. Because maybe I'm obsessed with it, too. If it's something weird, I guess no judgment.
Unless it's illegal.
Yeah, then I'm going to judge you. Like, if you're addicted to murder, get out of here.
Judge you hard.
Get out of here. We don't...
Yeah.
We're not...
Do not leave that in a YouTube comment. That would be weird.
We don't take kindly to people addicted to murder around here, all right? No addicted to abuse.
It's not a wholesome lifestyle
okay,
choice.
you can't say you're obsessed with hurting people, okay? That's not okay.
Unless it's consensual, but again...
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing.
That's something else.
We're keeping this PG-13.
I mean...
Yeah.
Just hint at it.
But yeah, we'd love to hear your things, because we have things, and we shared our things. And
share your things.
Like I said, no judgments, mostly.
Some judgment. It's just some.
No judgment, asterisks.
Yeah. And then at the bottom, may be judged.
Don't be murdered.
No murder. We don't like murder. We don't like abuse. Okay, these are things we don't like. We'll make a video someday about things we like and dislike, but just as like a spoiler, Kim and I don't like murder or abuse.
No murder.
It's not cool, man.
Murder
if
theft.
you're having thoughts
Don't
of
do it.
murder, please seek help. Please. Don't do it. It changes who you are, man. Don't do it. I wouldn't know personally, but that's what I hear.
And it definitely changes the persons you do that to.
They changed from being alive
don't do it.
to no longer. And
yeah, and they probably have other people that are going to be sad that they're gone,
think about
so
people. You
just
know
don't
what?
do it.
We're
It's not nice to make other people
We're
sad.
against murder, but we're pro empathy. All right? Pro empathy. Empathy is underrated. Empathy is underrated.
That could be our slogan. We're against murder, but we're for empathy.
Now you wanna to get like empathetical with me? Like we can do that. We're all day, every day. We'll do the empathy. No murder.
But we will not empathize with murder.
No, we won't. I mean, I guess like, what if it's a defense thing though? What if it's self-defense? I guess.
Well, self-defense is a whole.
I guess
other
it's not
thing.
murder.
There's a whole other asterisk for
Yeah.
self-defense.
Okay, there's.
Yeah, it's self-defense. murderers, there's some degree of like either negligence or premeditation, or there's a whole like criminal code around that. And anyway,
yeah, we're not gonna be anyway. So yeah,
we're not
like, subscribe, comment. I think those are sharing. Apparently,
if you know any good sponsors,
you can share the video with other people. I hear that that's cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. Share.
That's a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah, and then they can like.
Yeah, and then tell them. I always find it.
And the cycle continues.
Like, it sucks that we have to say that. I feel so cringe saying that, but you know, that's how YouTube works. All right, people. You have to like and subscribe to support. It's weird. All right. Can't just watch it, and you can't just watch it.
Or whatever other thing we might end up on.
Right now, it's just here.
Wherever people put these things.
It's a video. I'm in a video. Yeah. I'm in your screen. I live here.
So
we live here.
Thanks for watching.
I'm going to hit my nicotine.
Yeah, in your screen. Because we know I like screens. So I like screens so much, I'm going to be on your screen. See how that works?
I could read your comment.
We're pointing at you.
I could like your comment, and I can respond to your comment. Yeah. Just think about that. Just think about that. Engagement. That's a cool thing to do. Get engaged.
We will do that.
Not like engagement. I mean, I guess you can also get engaged as well, but I mean, engage with us. Don't get engaged to us. I'm married.
Yeah, she's already married though. So.
Sorry, I'm taken.
And now you'd have to take me out for dinner first.
On her screen.
Yes. I'll have my phone.
I think we're done though.
Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Peace out.
Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe. Comment.
I'm going to stop recording now.